So let's move on now to some rabbit holes because you cannot make this stuff up. Back to meaw.com. Who was Hannah Cleere? Madison Mogen's rumored ex-roommate killed herself after being bullied, allegedly. Online sleuths have independently investigated the Idaho murder case and have devised several theories about why someone was out to kill the 4 victims by Varnica Srivastava, December 9th, 2022. A new hypothesis recently circulated on Twitter that one of the victims in an Idaho murder case was a bully and their actions had led to the suicide of Madison Mogen's former roommate. This article is based on sources, and I cannot verify this information independently. And of course, this is MINDSHOCK. I do not claim anything is true or untrue here. The entire motto of the podcast is, of course, the only thing we know for sure is that we don't know anything for sure. But I really don't understand why all these trigger goofs are going around and just getting instantly triggered at anybody theorizing. Now, obviously, anybody calling for any kind of harassment, I mean, that's inexcusable. But simply objectively discussing theories without claiming they are true or untrue, I mean, anything to keep the awareness up and keep pressure on law enforcement and keep this in the public consciousness to make sure that true justice is obtained. I mean, how is that a bad thing? Not to mention, obviously, in certain cases, online sleuthing does lead to solving cases. So the article here: the deaths of 4 University of Idaho students have rocked the small and usually peaceful college town. All 4 victims, Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogen, Xana Coronado, and Ethan Chapin, were killed in a 3-story rented home off campus in the early hours of November 13th. They were all 20 to 21 years old. Police have not yet identified the suspect or suspects in the case. Online sleuths have independently investigated the Idaho murder case and have devised several theories about why someone would want to kill the 4 victims. A new hypothesis recently circulated on Twitter that one of the victims in an Idaho murder case was a bully and their actions had caused a former roommate to take her own life. Who was Hannah Cleere? A Twitter user claimed the quadruple homicide is connected to Hannah Cleere, who was supposedly an ex-roommate and shared her dorm room with one of the Idaho victims. As per claims made in the tweet, they bullied and harassed Cleere, who eventually took her own life February 24th, 2022. The user wrote, Hannah Cleere took her life in February. She shared a dorm with one of the victims and got bullied. Her birthday, November 15th. With the post, the user has even shared 2 images. One of the images supposedly of Hannah Cleere, which is captioned, Hannah was born on November 15th, 2000, and passed away February 24th, 2022 at the age of 21. A user from Instagram had commented on Madison Mogen's post after she died, commenting, "You deserved everything that happened to you, especially after what you did to that poor girl. You elitists are all the same. I'll be reserving my spit once they properly bury you." I mean, that is an insane post, of course. That's pretty crazy. These hostile comments were made by Instagram users on Madison's profile as these bullying theories were pushed by internet conspiracy theorists, but there is absolutely no proof about if these theories hold any water or if they have even a shred of truth to them. Despite the fact that they are still unaware of whether the attacker specifically targeted the students or their apartment, police highlighted their concerns about the incidents once more on December 1st. Although no suspects have been identified or a murder weapon has been located, the public has been urged to come forward with any information that might help solve the case. So, a couple of points here. First of all, to those, there's people claiming, again, I have no knowledge of this case and this ex-roommate. But people committing murder often stage it as a suicide. And people who actually are legitimately suicidal and have even voiced these suicidal tendencies or thoughts of any kind or even plans, there's no magic Dungeons and Dragons spell in the universe where if you want to commit suicide, somehow that means no predators, no murderers, nobody looking to harm you will do it. There's no magic protection spell. So I don't know why all these people discussing true crime, especially so-called true crime aficionados, they're that utterly clueless that they think that just because someone might be planning to commit suicide or is suicidal, that means there's zero chance any kind of murder would ever target them for any reason. Really weird. Or particularly target them and then stage it as a suicide if they thought there was a greater chance of them getting away with it, particularly if an individual was really suicidal. So again, just keeping that in mind, I'm not saying that's the case here, obviously. There's no way to know that. I'm not claiming this is the case here. But if this was only one rabbit hole, I mean, there seem to be quite a few here. Because there's also, and if these really are murders, so this average of 0 murders in Moscow, it might not be true. Because we have yet another death here, Hudson Lindau. Also, there seems to be some kind of a troubled history here with these sororities and fraternities. Like, how far back does this go? And also, I don't have the numbers here, but what are the average amount of deaths, suicides, bodies being found in the creek at any university with a particular population per capita, so we can compare it to the University of Idaho? Does it really stand out, or does it not? But either way, we have a minimum of 2 deaths here, with potential circumstances involving similar groups of people in these Greek fraternities and sororities. So, again, might not mean anything, or maybe it does. How would one know without objective investigation?